The following is a Thorpe TV production brought to you in cooperation with Jack Thorfinson. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time once again for Sunday evening gun chat, that relaxing time way up north near the Canadian border at Mr. Holster's ranch, where Mr. Holster reflects on his weekend's events and talks about a gun. Let's have a big warm round of applause for that relaxed YouTube personality, Mr. Holster. Oh, really, Jack? You kill me with that relaxed. That guy's like comatose. And I like it when he's comatose too, because the only thing worse than him passed out on the floor in front of you is having to listen to him talk. The guy's, oh, Mr. Holster. Hey, howdy, Parja. It's me, Mr. Holster. Well, let's get the show started to the sunny slopes of long ago. That doesn't heat you up and cool you down all at the same time. Boy, I tell you, lots of things going on here at the ranch this weekend. Weather has finally come around. It's supposed to be 50 plus degrees all next week. Warm and sunny this weekend. Got out there, got the horses' hooves trimmed. Everybody's trimmed up, ready to go. Of course, you got to let them sit for about 5 days. Well, at least 3 days. Let them kind of get used to those new tender hooves before you start working them. But that's what we're going to start doing next week. We're going to start getting them in the round pen, getting everybody back into shape. The ice is gone. We can ride again, yes. Because we didn't get to ride at all this whole winter long because we had like 6 inches of ice everywhere. You couldn't even walk. And I talked about that before. So everything's gone out there. Of course, there's a mess to clean up. Always a mess to clean up after a winter. There's hay everywhere. Everywhere. Got to rake all that up, clean everything up, get things back in shape. We've been watching one of the cows all weekend long because she's about ready to drop a calf. I had Sunday in the pool and it didn't happen, so I won't be the winner on that one. That thing's got to drop in the next 48 hours, I say, but maybe not. Who knows? Well, this is what we're going to look at today. One of the things I did in my spare time this weekend, and it was that SIG P250 that started all this, because I got that old J-frame in trade, and I decided to take it apart and clean it up and do a few things to it, and that got me going on other guns, and we're going to talk about that. I was going to do an unboxing today. I was going to do another Joey Cuz unboxing, but I'm going to save that gun. I'm going to save that gun for the sock show next week, I decided, and I'd talk about this instead, because I know there's a lot of you out there are going to cringe when you see this, but I'm so happy I did it, because it makes this gun so much more useful, and that's my Ruger, my Ruger Match Champion here. I worked on this weekend to make it something a little more useful for myself. That's right. I bobbed the hammer and took off the full cock notch, and it's now double action only. Yeah. Yep. It is now a full-time concealed carry handgun, and that's what it's good for. Yeah. That's how you do it. That's it, guys. That's all there is to it. No cocking this anymore. The only thing I have left to do is I have to get the night sight on the front. I'm perfectly content, I decided, with the Novak rear sight, but I want the night sight on the front and get rid of the fiber optic sight, which I think is just great for recreational shooting, but other than that, I'm not too hot on it. So going to get a night sight on the front of that from Novak and pop that on there, and I'll be done. Then I'll have what I want. Yeah. And I've got a nice Kramer holster for this. And I should talk about holsters someday. Maybe I'll do that next Sunday, is talk about holsters, because there's something I want to talk about on holsters. And I think I'll do that next Sunday. But that was the big excitement here this weekend, was taking this Match Champion apart taking that full cock notch off and then deciding what to do with the hammer, and I decided not to take it down any further. I know it looks better when you do, but I like leaving the extra weight on there because I feel like you're just asking to have problems with your primers if you lose too much weight on that. And I don't want to up the spring if I don't have to, because it's really got a nice trigger pull. Very content with it like it is. Now these are supposed to be, and I love this, this is supposed to be a shimmed trigger on these. The trigger and hammer are supposed to be custom shimmed at the factory, giving this a like a custom gun, the Match Champion. And so when I took it apart, I was very careful because I didn't want to lose those shims, and I wanted to know which shim went on which side and get it put back together correctly, right? Well, I pulled it apart, and guess what? Hey, there are no shims. This is just a GP100, guys. Yeah, there's no shims in there. There's a lot of crap. But they do, unless, of course, mine just happened to be magically perfect and didn't have to be shimmed. That's possible. That's possible. But I don't think so, because the hammer's off to one side a little bit. But at any rate, the cylinder, of course, they have tapered down the cylinder, and they did put this nice special barrel on it. So I'll give them that much, and they do have a nice smoothed out trigger on it. So they did do all that, and then the Novak sights, but I didn't find any special custom shims in this thing at all. I don't know what the deal with that was. But it wasn't on mine, which I was actually happy that it wasn't there, because that means I didn't have to keep track of them and put them back in the right spots. A lot easier to reassemble. So I could take it apart and take the full cock notch off, put it back together, make sure I got it working the way I want to, and then take it off, take the hammer and de-spur it. Yeah. So now it's spurless, as they say. Very nice gun. This is going to work out great for carrying around. Yeah, because you don't need you don't need to have an ability to cock these things if you're going to use them for, no. You want a revolver to cock? Save yourself money and just go buy yourself a single action, because they're a heck of a lot cheaper than a double action. Yeah. Especially 22s. Well, I need one in a 22 because I need to be able to cock it. Well, yeah, then go buy yourself a 22. Go buy yourself a single 9 or a, no, that'd be a 22 Magnum. Single 9 of the 22 Magnum, or a single 10 of the 22 long rifle, or a little Bearcat. I'm not real hot on the single 6 because the barrels aren't very good for 22 long rifle. The barrels are set up for 22 Magnum. A lot of people don't know that. The 22 Magnum's a different diameter bullet. Yeah, so they don't shoot quite as well with a 22 long rifle. So that's why I go to the single 10 that's just 22 long rifle. It shoots better. But there you have it. There's the mysteries of Ruger. No shimming. Which just kills me. Because that's the only thing that held me up, is I don't want to do that today, because I got to dink around with the shims and make sure they get back in the same spot and everything. I'll do that later. Now, otherwise, this would have been done a long time ago. I pull it out, and I kind of figured that there'll probably just be one shim on one side, and I doubt there's going to be a shim on either side, different dimensions that I'll have to keep track of, but you never know. When you pull it apart, there's no shimming at all. It's just no different than no different than my Security 6s or the old GP100 I don't have anymore, which I let go. I had a 3-inch barrel back in 1990, something like that, which I never really liked because the barrels are so heavy. Even in the 3-inch, the full lug barrel is just so heavy. And back in the late 80s, early 90s, Smith & Wesson and all their guns had those full lug barrels on them. I just hated that. Just hated those full lug barrels. At any rate, got my Match Champion the way I want it. I can take a little pressure off my old Police Service 6 and start using this more. Big excitement. So there you have it, guys. The story of the shimless Match Champion, which is now double action only, as it should have been to start with. And One last thing before I leave you. I'm having a contest. It's called the American Gunfighter 5,000 sub giveaway, where I'm giving away a $350 gift certificate to Brownells to the lucky winner. And all you got to do to get in the contest is, number 1, be a subscriber. Number 2, like this video. And number 3, in the comments section down below, just type in, "How could you do that to Jack's gun?" Well, I'm sorry, but Jack's never going to come up with that money. He'd be better off just saving himself up enough money to go buy a new match champion. It'll be cheaper for him than paying me the $27.50 he owes me. Yeah. There you go, pards. Thanks for tuning in. If you like my channel, please subscribe. Till next time, go out and stay safe.